I'm Jane Pauley. Please join us when our trumpet sounds again next Sunday morning.
I'm Margaret Brennan in Washington, and this week on Face the Nation, the House passes a massive aid package with tens of billions of dollars for Ukraine, widening the divide within the Republican Party. But is it coming too late to help Ukraine defeat Vladimir Putin? After 6 months of party infighting over aid to Ukraine, Speaker Johnson did an end run around his MAGA conservative critics and worked with Democrats to get a $95 billion package of foreign aid through the House, a move that could cost him his job.
I said these are not normal times. They're not. The world is destabilized, and it's a tinderbox.
But will it revive the weary Ukrainian war effort? We'll talk with Senate Intelligence Chair Mark Warner. Plus, we'll hear from Republican Congressman Tom Cole and Senator Dan Sullivan about all this and more. Plus, as former President Trump prepares for opening statements in the New York hush money trial, bad weather kept him off the campaign trail this weekend.
They're saying the weather is really getting bad, really getting bad.
President Biden spent 3 days in a state that's a must-win for him.
You're my ticket to the White House. You, Pennsylvania. No, it's not hyperbole.
We'll talk with that state's Democratic governor, Josh Shapiro. Finally, ahead of Earth Day, what impact is the recent run of extreme weather having on American views on climate change? It's all just ahead on Face the Nation. Good morning and welcome to Face the Nation. 6 months to the day after President Biden requested the funding for Ukraine, it has finally passed the House. The $95 billion foreign aid package includes $61 billion for Ukraine and rebuilding U.S. weapons stockpiles, $26 billion in aid for Israel, that includes some humanitarian aid for Palestinians, and $8 billion for parts of the Indo-Pacific region, which includes Taiwan. A bill also forces the Chinese-owned firm ByteDance to sell TikTok or risk a U.S. ban. Speaker Mike Johnson, along with a minority of Republicans, worked with a majority of Democrats to get the Ukraine aid through. That bipartisan effort has made some ultra-conservative House Republicans livid, and they're threatening to remove the Speaker from his job just 6 months after a similar scenario cost Kevin McCarthy the speakership. The Senate is expected to pass the funding bill later this week. We begin today with the chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee, Mark Warner. Good morning, and good to have you here.
Thank you, Margaret.
So, Senator, $61 billion in aid to Ukraine, about 60% of that stays as an investment into the U.S. industrial base, as I understand it. President Zelensky said this morning on another network, it's important that they get crucial long-range artillery like ATACMS. Is that what this money will pay for? And if so, when will they actually get them?
Well, the great news is this is finally happening. It should have happened 6 months ago. The next best time is right now, this week. We've seen the Ukrainians overperform. If you step back for a moment and think about the fact that for most of my life, most of America's defense forces were focused on Russia. Getting this additional equipment as quickly as possible. I hope once this gets to the president by Tuesday or Wednesday, that these shipments will be literally launched with that longer range attack.
By next week.
I hope once the president signs, we've been told that it is the president's signature, making sure Congress does its job, that these materials will be in transit by the end of the week. And on that schedule, what it will do is, it's clearly been the case that the Ukrainians' morale has been great, but it's been